Dragon Ball FighterZ is yet another entry into the ever-popular Dragon Ball franchise. Now, granted, Dragon Ball has had plenty of fighters, and it was always comparatively hit and miss. Plenty of Dragon Ball games to choose from, but this one looked like it was actually going to be a competitive fighter. Developed by Arc Systems, who are known for their Guilty Gear and BlazBlue fighting franchises, two series I've dabbled in and have been meaning to take a deeper look at one day. This might encourage me to do so. This isn't the first time that Arc Systems has dabbled in the Dragon Ball franchise. They did portable titles for the Game Boy Advance and 3DS. But this is the first time they've done a main console entry in the Dragon Ball franchise. How does it stack up? Let's take a look at that story first. Skip to this time in the video if you don't want to be spoiled. You have been warned. Okay, before we begin, what's up with this? Every cutscene seems to be blocked. It's annoying because it gets in the way of the screen, and my Elgato doesn't really care about that sort of thing. I really wish there was a way to turn this off. There are 3 stories, so we'll be looking at the first one. So anyway, the story begins with Goku waking up to the voice of an old friend. There are many clones popping up all over the world, and once again it falls upon Son Goku and his friends to save the world. You have to recruit your friends to save the world. Along the way, you have to deal with Frieza, Cell, and other villains. Why are they back? Well, that's explained in the next story mode. But they're just kinda there. They're here to serve as a means to prop up the actual villain of the story, Android 21, a new villain created specifically for the game. What can I say about her? I'll go into her later. But in this arc, she's very sadistic and acts crazy. Why? That is something you'll find out later. Eventually, through the power of whatever it is they do, friendship, love, all that, good stuff, they destroy her.
After all that, we still don't know who 21 was exactly. Or the mystery person Android 16 was trying to save. Oh my. There are still a lot of questions left unanswered.
Honestly, Whis, does anyone care? It really is none of our business. However,
Oh, thanks, Whis. You're pretty much telling me that I still have more to do. The second story has you take the role of Frieza and the other villains as they set out to stop Android 21, teaming up with Goku and the Z fighters along the way. This story mode seems almost exactly the same as the first. Just put you in the role of the villains. There's not much to say here, except all the villains are perfectly entertaining in their own way. My favorite is probably Cell. He seems to take special habit out of ripping everyone he can get his hands on.
I see. So to that end, you'll be able to make short work of these weaklings? I'm going to find this quite entertaining.
you got that right. Take a long, hard look, and you'll see for yourself.
You are such an idiot.
The story ends with everyone destroying Android 21 again, just with the villains this time, so I'm confused as to how these events correlate with the ones in the Super Warriors arc. This one feels almost entirely unnecessary. The last one is the Android 21 arc, where you play as Androids 16 and 18 with 17 tagging along. This is the one where you get more backstory and information on Android 21. It's hinted that she was Dr. Jiro's wife, and since Android 16 has been said by Toriyama to be based on Dr. Jiro's son, that means Android 21 is based on Android 16's mother. It seems Dr. Jiro wanted some semblance of his family back. In fact, Android 21 is a complex character. She wants a family, but she also has urges to feed, which leads to the death of 16 again, and the splitting of Android 21 into her good and evil half. So that does kind of explain why she pauses after killing Android 16. From then on, Goku and the Z fighters join up with you, and you confront the evil half of Android 21 for one final showdown. Just like Boo, Android 21 can regenerate, so Goku gets the idea to do a spirit bomb to destroy her for good. The good Android 21 sacrifices herself to destroy the evil one, so it's a bittersweet ending.
Huh? Have you lost your mind?
Don't tell me that you want to bring her back with the Dragon Balls.
No, using the Dragon Balls just wouldn't be right, considering how she sacrificed herself.
That never stopped you before. Why would that stop you now? The story is surprisingly long. It takes about 6 hours to complete each one, provided that you go after every fight, which is recommended so you build up experience points, so you can unlock these character links, which basically serve as a friendship meter. It allows you to converse with the characters. It's a nice way to integrate player interactivity into the story mode, even though the whole player link thing seems kinda an afterthought in the story, since I didn't quite understand why there was a link in the first place. It's also nice that it's a completely original story, because the whole play out the arcs of Dragon Ball has been done to death. What I must say I enjoyed about the story was the character interactions. Picking a team of characters and seeing the cutscenes that play is a lot of fun. The game doesn't take itself too seriously unless evil Android 21 shows up, then it becomes serious. I don't know why she doesn't just turn the good guys into food and eat them, but that would end the story. Speaking of which, why does Android 21 even have a Majin form anyway? Seems a little unnecessary. I think she looked fine in her normal design. The waves are used as an in-story explanation for how characters like Yamcha can pick a fight with characters like Frieza. It's pretty standard for a story like this. Now, the story mode does drag, particularly the Android 21 arc, where for a good while it's just Android 16 and 18 as your playable characters. I was getting so bored of just playing as the two of them, so that when Goku and Krillin showed up, I was just relieved because it meant it was finally going somewhere. Overall, I enjoyed the story, but I wish it was shorter and more refined. I enjoyed the ability to pick who I could play as, which is something I wish other fighting games would let me have the option of doing. But it's definitely meaty, so I'll give it that. One other complaint I might have is that most of the time you have to press buttons to skip to the next dialogue. Now, I don't mind that in theory, pressing a button does allow some kind of player interactivity to cutscenes, but sometimes that doesn't apply, so I end up skipping the line. It's just annoying. I also think Trunks should have been in the story mode, and I wonder if he was supposed to be. It would have been interesting to have him team up with Android 17 and 18. Missed opportunity. Now for the graphics and presentation. This game is beautiful. It looks like the anime has been perfectly translated to a game. The characters all move with grace. Everything looks and feels like a Dragon Ball fighting game. You can choose various languages to hear the game with, and everyone does as good a job as ever, even though it's pretty obvious the English voice acting doesn't match up with the lip syncing. Although then again, did you ever play the Dissidia Final Fantasy games? The English voice acting often had long pauses to try to match up with the lip syncing, so pick your poison I guess. Also, with the Japanese voice acting, it's sad to hear Hiromi Suru as Bulma one last time.
早くしろ。へんだ。そういう脅しには慣れっこなんだから。なに？私が死んじゃったら誰が波動を中和するのよ。その機械でできた精神といつまでも一緒にいたいって言うなら別だけど。それでもいいの？
ブルマさん、すげえたくましくなってないか？そっか？昔からあだったぞ。
Now for the gameplay. This is where they got it right. Combos are fun and easy to pull off. Doing quarter circle and button presses to do special moves is easy to pull off. There's a recovery system in place, you can rush through key attacks, pretty much everything characters do in the manga and anime, you can do here. The characters all feel unique as well. Everybody has their own unique special moves and attacks. You might mash light auto combo repeatedly, but that'll only get you so far. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Yamcha actually comes off as pretty badass in this game. I love using his Neo Wolf Fang Fist. The ki gauge fills up by doing damage or by charging it, though it's hard to find time to charge it up, especially when you're playing competitively. You select the 3 characters like Marvel vs. Capcom used to do, and you can switch them out as you see fit. You can do assist attacks, so it's a lot like Marvel vs. Capcom in that regard. Poor Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, that game is getting forgotten. You'll have access to Aura Spark, which reminds me of X Factor from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and you can even summon Shenron provided that you get all the Dragon Balls. Not sure how that'll factor in the tournaments, but we'll see. The stages in this game are all taken from the show. You can even sometimes do stage transitions provided you knock them off with a strong attack. One of my favorites is the destructive finishes, which sometimes can mess up the arena you're fighting in. But the real treat is the dramatic finishes, where with the right characters you can reenact a scene from the show. These are a lot of fun to seek out. There's even one with Yamcha that I don't want to give away as it's not what you think it is. There is an arcade mode, but there's really not much to say about it. It's just do a few paths, get a really high rating, and beat your opponents. There's no unique endings for any of the characters, which is a bit disappointing, but understandable considering all the cutscenes that went into story mode. I wouldn't have minded a shorter story mode in exchange for arcade endings, but it is what it is. Also, getting into lobbies can be kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. It's so easy to get Zenny. This is fight money done right. I wish I could get alternate costumes for some of the characters that would have alternate costumes. It's just needs and wants, but nothing I can't live without. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a very damn good, solid game. The combat system is fun and easy to pick up. The characters all feel unique and fun. The game is just beautiful to look at. If you're a Dragon Ball fan or just a fan of fighting games in general, I recommend playing this game. You'll be surprised at what you can pull off. Play it. It's worth it. For now, I'm signing off. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. Next time, I've got a unique kind of video in store before I get back to reviewing, so look out for that.
I wanted to thank you so much for fighting with us. You're the best! Next time we meet, that is if you're up for it, we should have ourselves a friendly spar. Anyway, see ya!